Hey guys, Human here, and today I am joined by Thomas. Thomas recently topped the One Piece regionals for Carta Magica and Top Cut just today. So say hi to everyone, Thomas.
Everyone, my name's Thomas. My main deck is mainly Law. I played both Carta and Top Cut. Placed ninth in Carta and seventh in Top Cut today.
Very impressive run. Play top cutting both major events, and it's a new major event for NA as well. Before we have Treasure Cup, now is a regional that will go towards Nats at some point. But here we have your deck list for Law. I glanced over it earlier, and it's pretty standard at first. Like, what was your thought process like building into the deck at first?
If I'm gonna be honest, I just took this list straight from the Miyagi winner. Just played it like straight up, like no changes. Just played it raw.
That's a, but even if you play a deck, even if you take a net deck or something, it still takes a player with intensive skill to be able to do repetitive runs of playing well as well. And you top two events, last week
Yeah.
and this week. But
So I played
here,
Law all through set one and probably all through set two and three also.
do you play a similar list in set one?
Um, yeah, pretty similar. Like most things I add from this set is Makino, the Dan, and Vista. And pretty much everything else you keep from set one.
Yep. And as everyone can see, it's a pretty standard list. We have it's law leader, of course. You have to have four Tama
Yeah.
and four Chopper, four Beach, four Bonnie, four Nami. Those are the must-haves on fours. But here we have three Makino. Um, I know that you have the exact list from the Miyagi winner. What are your thoughts on three Makino versus four, as for law at least?
So space is really tight with this list. I would try to play a fourth one, but I really don't know if you can afford to. And it's fine at three. The Dan searches Otama, which is Makino most of the time is a 2K counter. In some instances, you'll make Nami a 5K. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Makino's not as important as Otama. Otama works extremely well in this style of red decks. In other decks, you'll use Otama like one time, and you have to find another if you really need it. But in Law, you're able to recycle Otamas over and over. And you can use it with Vista, you can use it with Pistol. Some lists I've seen play Robin, you can use it with Robin too.
Yes. And here we have for the Dawn, pretty standard, for Brook, and for Vista. And then we have two Zoros. We've seen a lot of rush based decks, some whether it's Law or Zoro, play four rather than two. Like, why do you think this list plays two? Why did you decide to play two?
So last set you played more, maybe probably 3 to 4 Zoro. This set, I upped to the top end. I played 10 5 drops, and that's what you want to be shamblings into. You don't really want to. Most of your low end is red, so you can't really shambles into red cards. It's a lot harder to do that, which is also a reason why I don't play the Rush Luffy. It does come up a lot, but I find it really hard to bring out a Rush Luffy for two in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we do have our four Shambles Law. It's a must have.
It's one time, yeah.
Yep. Four Restanding Law, since your deck's pretty much all Supernovas, 5 costs and under. That
Yeah.
Restanding Law is just the best. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing to say
So like
besides that.
what's better than 4 law is just 4 more law. Just add more laws in.
Exactly. Exactly. And here you have two X-Drakes. The two X-Drakes, right? We see people running the new film Zoro instead,
Hmm.
or possibly even like you said earlier, the Star Deck Luffy to make it unblockable.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the X Drake versus either one of those two?
So actually, yeah, you can switch it out for either Zoro, Luffy. My friend Jackson, he was also trying out the green Frankie because it's a 7K beat stick, which is pretty
Mm-hmm.
good into Whitebeard. But I think X-Drake works is pretty well into this meta. It beats a well-timed X-Drake is pretty devastating for a Kimon and sometimes Whitebeard. But you can change it if you want. You can put in the Rush Luffy if you like it, the green Zoro. This is just your personal preference here. I just went straight with the stock list.
Okay. And of course, three jet pistol is a must have in any red base deck that has
Any red base deck.
Otamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your Lord and Savior when it comes to 8 cost kids, right?
Yeah. There aren't many 8 cuts kits now because they're easier to get rid of, but I think three pistol is a safe number because there's a lot of Kinemon and Whitebeard in this format now, and it pops a lot of their 6K bodies.
Yeah, I've seen some lists only run 2 rather than 3,
Yeah,
but sometimes you want to see it more often, and that's why you
exactly. Yeah.
do it with 3. And of course, you want to see it in live too.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Enough about the list. Let's talk about your matchups. So you played 2 regionals. What were your
Yeah.
matchups in the Carta Magica regional?
For Carta, I went 4-1 against Kinemon. I 2-0'd Kaido, 1-0 Zoro, and 1-0 Volkov.
Nice. So your losses were to Kiemon and Zoro in that, or just Kiemon? Kiemon,
Just
right?
Kinemon, yeah. It
Just
was a
Kiemon.
round
Yeah.
one loss. I wasn't fully awake yet, so I wasn't playing to
Yeah.
my most optimal plays. Um, but yeah, we had that salty run back as they call it, and
Yeah.
went 8-0 afterwards.
That's amazing though. Like a round one loss, and then be able to reset yourself and get your gear on, and just
Yep.
go straight for the win. And you did it.
Mhm.
You won all the way out from a round one loss, and then you
Yeah.
finishing ninth.
And
Like
this regionals, I was also lucky enough to dodge Whitebeards. I think Whitebeard is your hardest matchup as well.
really,
Yeah.
white beer. What we see? We saw the top 16 list. There were, I believe, 7 white beers.
Yeah, 7 Whitebeards. My only loss today at Top Cut was the second place Alexander Tash on Whitebeard.
Wow. So all the way, your only loss is to second place, meaning you played a lot of good people then.
Um, I lost round 7. So yeah,
So
not bad.
like when you go into the matchups, right? When you go into the
Mhm.
games, what is your thought process when you see the leaders?
So I guess I'll start with first and second. I like going second against everything except for Zoro and Doflamingo. I think their curve is better going first, so you want to take away that from them. First and second for law doesn't really matter. I just think you want to choose the one that you don't want opponents choosing. So if you're playing against like everything else, I think want to go second, so you choose second. Straw Hat Whitebeard, I'm not too sure myself about that. Because if you go first against Whitebeard, then you they take their first life for free, and then but they get to drop a 4 cost vanilla on their turn too. But if you go second, they curve out 9-drop Whitebeard, which is really devastating.
Yeah,
Because once
that's
they drop out 2 9-drop Whitebeards, I think it's just almost game over for you.
yeah. Even especially against Zoro, when if they can get the perfect white beer,
Yeah,
back to back, it's so hard to
it's really hard.
just get out.
That's where the starter deck law comes in. You before their 9-drop or their 9 Dawn turns, you want to try to put them at 0 to 1 life so that when they do the 9-drop Kaido is really awkward for them because they're not gonna have any Dawn left for events or anything. So that you can dump a whole bunch on your Supernova, and then shambles for 2, play restand law and swing again.
Yeah. So, your struggles, like what we talked about it, where you said your hardest matchup is white beer. Did you
Yeah.
struggle against any other deck throughout the events?
Um, Whitebeard for sure. Zoro, I thought it would be pretty hard, but I'd say it's a little bit more even than I think. I haven't lost officially to one yet, but how I see this matchup is they have a really big swing turn around like turn 3 or 4 where they swing a bunch, like swing all out with their small guys.
Mm-hmm.
By that time you should be able to have like at least a blocker law out and enough counters so that you can block it and counter, maybe go down to like 1 or 2 life, and then by then you're just swing over everything, get a couple hits in that life, um, and they'll like won't have a really good board afterwards. They'll drop Whitebeard, but then you'll have enough blockers and blocker law to be able to defend for a little bit more, and restand law will win you the game there.
Yes. All right, and then today the Top Cut regionals. What were
Yeah.
your matchups for today?
I really enjoyed today because I have actually played a different deck every single round except for Zoro.
Wow.
Yeah, so I played against a Z, a kid, smoker, Kaido, Whitebeard, my only loss, Law Mirror Match, and Doflamingo, then two Zoros.
Wow, that's
Yeah, so a
8
lot of
different
diversity.
decks. That's
Eight different matches
diverse.
today.
That's extremely diverse. I can't. That just means your thought process for each and every matchup should change, right? For
Yeah,
whoever you play against. Like, how did it feel going against 8 different decks in 9 rounds?
I really enjoyed it. It was a lot more refreshing than Carta, where I was just playing against Kinemon a lot, and it's pretty much like the same thing over and over. But
Hmm.
like playing as Law, uh, I really like its playstyle because it's not a linear deck like Zoro and Whitebeard. Law, you can play different lines, and that's what I really like about it.
Hmm. All right. So we see you finish ninth in Carta. You finish seventh in Top Cut. What's
Yeah.
next? What's the next event you're
Um,
playing in?
Signups for next one, I think are Treasure Cup.
Hmm. Oh, there
I
is
was
a
gonna go
regional
through
too.
in person. Yeah, I was trying to go in person regionals, but they line up exactly on finals week, so can't do that.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate. So, but
Yeah.
you were you able to? No, Treasure Card signups are on the
Next
thirty
week.
first. If I
Yes.
So you
Yeah,
gotta make sure
31st.
to get in on those. I gotta make sure to
Uh-huh.
get in on those too. All
Yeah, yeah. I
right.
think Jackson was saying like I got ninth last time, seventh this time. It'll take me three more to win a regionals. I'm gonna get fifth, third, and then first.
it's it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
We gotta get on Jackson's level where we can go much higher each time, right?
Yep. That's the goal. That's the goal.
All right. And then next we have your changes. Like, what would you change in this deck if you were to make any change?
With Whitebeard being probably best deck, I would probably keep the four law. Um, I'll possibly try out five cost Frankie for the 7k DP. Um, I tested out Starter Deck Zoro for a little bit, but I didn't really like it too much. I think the rush comes up a lot more than the extra DP would.
Hmm. Yeah,
X
that's what I've
Drake at
seen as well.
two, I like it at two. I honestly like X Drake's one of my favorite cards. Like if you can just drop a really good X Drake, then and, like if you can bait out also cards like swinging at a 5k or a 4 cost unit and like over and over until they like drop cards and just drop X Drake over, it's pretty game changing.
Yes. That is very true, especially now in the format where everyone's very aggressive.
Hmm.
And to be aggressive, that means your low cost units are usually the ones attacking, and
Yeah.
extra can take advantage of it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it feels great to extract the Atmos, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, X Drake. I think some people also like are afraid to drop cards for 5 costs, like their laws and X Drake. Some people just want a shambles only. Against Kinemon, it's fine just dropping it for 5 because they're mostly trying to clear board. That's where you can just extract the Okiku right away or the Yamatos so that you have a body and they lose a body. You don't need a shambles every turn.
Yes. All right. Do you have any shout outs you want to give out to?
Yeah, so I'm gonna shout out the Grand Line, Jackson's testing server, really great people. Collect Legion, my sponsor and team. All the locals in Orange County, my wonderful girlfriend, and Ying for taking the time to interview me.
Nah, you did extremely well, and this is well deserved. Like 2 weeks, like back to back, you get you top 9 in Carta, and now seventh in Top Cut, and
Mhm.
then next event you gotta say you're gonna get fifth. That's your
Fifth.
goal, and then
Hopefully first and second, but yeah.
we want to be higher than that, but
Yeah, yeah.
according to Jackson, you're gonna get fifth in the next one, then third,
Mhm.
and then first win it all.
Yeah. It's gonna take me three more regionals.
3 more regionals. You got this. You got this.
Yeah. Hmm.
But thank you for taking the time for doing this. Hopefully we can see you again when you get
Yeah.
your next 2 tops and then
Yeah.
your final win. Looking
Yeah.
forward to you winning an event. Hopefully get ahead of Jackson at this point. That guy's leading with 3 serial Luffy's already.
Yeah. He's considered a GOAT right now.
He is definitely the go for One Piece at the moment. But thank you for coming, and I hope we see you back.
Yep. Thank you so much.
All right, see you.
Bye bye.